Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with the Puma Magnify Nitro 3. We're also back in Mint Hill with all of the off-topic distractions, like guys on their motorcycles. Now, I'm gonna put this through the 20-mile long run test today. I did a first run a few days ago. Said it might be the best daily trainer of 2025. So today, I'm gonna let you know whether it stands up to that prediction or that hypothesis, that analysis. Now, if you're looking for a new daily trainer, you gotta make sure you're on the Supwell app. Is my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. And it's also the best community of hobby joggers out there. When those two things combine, you get great deals, because hobby joggers who are interested in shoes might buy a shoe like the Puma Magnify Nitro, say it doesn't work for them. They list on the app well below MSRP and pass along great value to someone else. We also just added a race calendar, so you can now add in your upcoming race. And it's not just a way to keep tabs on what everyone's doing in the community and to root for others, but it's a way for us to hold ourselves accountable. Once you put the race out there, it's out in the world. And you know you gotta show up. You can't back out. So if you want a new community, if you're looking for a new shoe or a new way to improve your training, to advance what you're cooking, get in with the Supwell app and enjoy today's video. So Reevesy and I have the full Max Cushion gang breakfast out here today. We're still working our way through our vacation haul. He has lemon blueberry sourdough toast from Pocono Organics. Oh gosh, the butter is hard. The earth balance has been in the cold fridge. Yeah, lemon blueberry sourdough toast from Pocono Organics. And then I have these English muffins here. These are probably the best English muffins I've ever had in my life. My mom discovered this place in Charlottesville. Charlottesville? Yeah. It's called Belle from Charlottesville. Charlottesville. Yeah, Charlottesville. Charlotte's Web is a good book, though. And then the Pierre de Résistance. Can you pass me the jam? The other one. The other one, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna. You want to try some of both? Yeah. Yeah. So this is the Pierre de Résistance. It's a red raspberry jam from Daniel. Jam according to Daniel. 1 pound of local fruit in every jar. Oh, that sound! Look at that, man. Look at that raspberry jam. Yeah, your butter is perfect. All right, ready? Yeah. Try this one, ready? Okay. You gotta let us know how it is. Yum. Yum. Wow, that's really good. You can taste the fruit. I mean, you can see the whole fruit in this too. Yeah, you can see the whole fruit. That's some real berry jam right there. It's tangy. And this was the other thing we got from the farmer's market. Thistle Hill honey. Yeah. Well, I'm going to put it on my other one because I don't have two things of jam. And he said tasting notes for this one were peach, because apparently they have a peach orchard. And this is his first year. Here, you can try this. Yummy? All right, one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
And then you have to bite too. Then you have to bite. Yum.
Yum. It's a feast out here this morning. That is amazing. That might be the best honey I've had so far this year. And then coffee. This was also from the Poconos. Yeah, there's a coffee shop in Jim Thorpe.
Some coffees are
And they sell this brand, which is from Philly. So Ethiopia coffee. One sip. Everybody knows the rules. Reese's trying to steal my food. Are you a food stealer?
I am. I still steal. That's so good. The honey mango is so good.
Fruity and full body. Let's go. We're ready to go this morning. It's going to be a hot one. It's not even 8. Sun is fully blasting. It's supposed to be high of 90 today. We're going to be getting what we paid for out there. Oh my goodness. You can just see from the way the light and the shadows are hitting. It's going to be a scorcher. Roni? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bruh. It is already about 83 degrees with 90% humidity. This is going to be a scorcher today. And look at that. No cloud coverage at all, which is nice. Not a cloud in the sky. And look how high the sun is. Oh my gosh. So we're finally back here on Min Hill after lots of traveling. Yesterday was quite the trip, coming back from Virginia to here. And then I took the Primex Strong 3 out of the box and we were ripping. But it's nice to be back. I had this in a protected special bag, aka a Target shopping bag, so they would stay fresh and clean. Puma Magnify Nitro 3. I did the first run in these while we were on vacation last week in the Poconos, and I wanted to get a long run in them today. I was actually debating, should I do the Primex Strong 3 for my long run, or should I do these? I'm glad I did the Primex Strong 3 yesterday, because now I can just do a nice, relaxed long run and test how these are for pace. But this has been one of the top shoes I've tested recently when it comes for just mileage and fun. Did I say pace? I don't even have excuses. Yesterday I had the road trip brain. I guess today I'm just tired and getting back into it. But yeah, I want to test how these do for time on feet. This has been one of the best shoes I've tried recently for just comfort and everyday capability. It is the successor to these two, at least in my lineup, these two shoes that over the past year I've racked a ton of miles in. So last summer, Mag Max dropped. This is the 50 millimeter or 45 millimeter Max Stack Behemoth. I think this actually came in at 47 or 48 from Puma. It's the bouncy as all Frank shoe. You get the non-plated stack on the firmer side, so tall, and it really requires some power to get going, or at least pace or time on feet. Something about the shoe, it just screams extreme. It's extremely tall, extreme stack. It's not extremely light. It's actually heavy if you look at a lot of the other shoes in the category, but it's a tool for high mileage and a really awesome one at that. Now, the other shoe that the Magnify reminded me of was the Aeroglide 3. So this is more of a standard daily trainer, a lot lighter than the Mag Max. It doesn't feel as big on foot, way more streamlined. Very similar specs to the Magnify 3. And this is the one where I've just been plowing it with the daily miles. I mentioned this yesterday, but I haven't even done a 20-mile long run on this. I think the longest run I've done was 16 on the treadmill, and it was great for that, and it's an awesome shoe. And for most people, 16 will be your long run, especially if you're not, or 16 will be longer than your long run, maybe, especially if you're not training for a marathon. So certainly capable of long runs, but most of the time these days when I'm going 20 miles, I'm also adding in some sort of workout in there, so I'm not going to be pulling for a daily trainer like this. But what is so good about the Aero Goat here, and who knows, maybe I'll have to stop calling it the Aero Goat if the Magnify knocks it off. Magnify Nitro, it's not the Magnify Maximum. This is the Magnify Maximum here. Magnify Maximum in the Aero Goat and the Magnify Nitro. Oh, I am a strange animal, huh? But yeah, what's so nice about this is the lightweight, the bounce. I really like this foam. Somebody mentioned recently, and I thought this was interesting. It was actually an Instagram commenter that they're more of a 4-foot striker, and they didn't find the Aero Goat to be as bouncy. So that's something interesting. But I've found for midfoot striking and for heel striking, dude, the bounce on this is really good. You get this beaded TPU foam. It's a super critical beaded TPU. Really nice. It gives a lot of bounce with a lightweight without feeling too weird. That's the thing, right? The Magnify or the Mag Max can feel weird because of how big it is. I mean, just look at this heel here. Let me grab my calipers. All right. Take a look at this, man. So Aero Goat, which has a normal construction. There's nothing too tall or wide about this. 96 millimeters wide in the back. I mean, that's decently wide for a shoe. And then you take a look at the Mag Max. This bumps up to 105 millimeters wide in the back. And then you also have, this is the wild part, the foam here, 62 millimeters of foam on the outside. It's not 62 on the inside, but it's wrapping it up, which is giving you a lot of stability in this. It cradles your foot. Your foot sits down within that. The Magnify Nitro is like a combination of the Aero Goat and the Mag Max, which is probably why I loved it so much out of the box. Right, the width of this, more streamlined than the Mag Max, right around 93 millimeters. And then same thing, you're not getting as much foam on the outside. You're getting, what is this, 54 millimeters, 53 millimeters of foam on the outside. So you're getting 10 additional millimeters that are cradling your foot in place. And then the weight, this weight was also more similar to the Aero Goat. I think I have the scale out here. Let me see. And I did do the first run review with the weigh-in and everything, but I was in the Poconos, so I didn't have either the Mag Max or the Aero Glide. So let's see. Weight of the Magnify Nitro 3, 282. The Solomon here is 271, so very similar. 10 grams. It's not going to feel that on foot. And then the Mag Max, this is just a different league here, 322. Now, even though the Magnify Nitro is heavier than the Aero Goat, one of the areas where you're going to see this benefit is the rubber. The Puma grip is tank-like. It's a lot more durable, and the main issue we've seen with the Aero Glide is this rubber wearing down, getting flat, and actually wearing through. That's likely not going to happen on the Magnify Nitro. You can see here with the Mag Max, and look at this. This is 200 miles on the Mag Max. We flattened it out here, but it's still super thick, and we're not seeing any rubber wear down to the foam. Versus on the Solomon rubber, we're already seeing, look at that, it's all the way shaved down. So the durability on the Magnify Nitro should be really good. Puma is known for having these super durable shoes. Also, the Puma grip is great. We're not going to have to worry about any grip today. Oh my goodness, it's 90 degrees out here. But I guess we're going to have to worry about not slipping on our own sweat. But we're not going to have to worry about the rain coming down here today. Other things about this that were notable on the first run, this upper, man, so comfortable, nice and roomy here. It almost fit half a size big, I think, which I don't mind coming from Puma because historically their issue has been the shoes are just too narrow, which puts a lot of people off from the brand. You're not going to have that issue with this guy. It's nice and big on foot. And then the kicker here, this Nitro foam. Man, this version of foam, so somebody confirmed to me it's 100% PIBA. This is actually a random person in the comment section who confirmed, but they do work at a running store and get information from the running shoe brand, and they've helped me confirm things before and given me information before. So 100% PIBA in the midsole here. It is softer than the Mag Max. Look at this. You can see as I'm pushing it in how much it compresses, and you can see those lines around it. It's like the ripples of a wave versus the Mag Max. You see that similar force. You don't get any of those lines around it when I'm compressing, and it's also not squishing down as much. So Mag Max is firmer. We also are lower down to the ground. So take a look at this. Oh gosh, again. 39 millimeters a stack at the widest or tallest part of the forefoot in the Mag Max versus the Magnify Nitro. Just about 30, 32. And then the rocker is not as aggressive. It's more of a smooth ride than a rocker ride. But man, I got to tell you, this ride was just so buttery. And that's what I'm calling these things. This is the brown butter shoe. You ever heard brown butter? I've actually had vegan brown butter. You take the brown butter. The best one is Miyoko's because it has the fatty solids in it that can actually brown. I think it's sugar and butter, and then you just put it in the pan. It's fire. Charlie made the best brown butter vanilla cake for Reevesy's birthday, and she made a lake on top. It was a blueberry jam lake. She got a little dude who was surfing on the lake, and she put trees around it. It was a banger. But that's what this thing reminds me of. This is a brown butter shoe right here. So with that, let's lace it up. Enough talking. I want to see how this thing does for a 20 piece. So why don't we go do that? These look super good, man. Puma did a great job on the design. It looks like a high-performing shoe. It feels like a high-performing shoe. Step in is great. You know, the classic quality we look for. Absence of anything bothersome. Also, laces, weirdly a banger. Nice and stretchy. Nice and stretchy laces. So everything that I want in a daily trainer is here. Is nice and dialed. Now, versus the Aeroglide, it does feel more substantial on step-in and stable. Oh gosh, dude, the mosquitoes are... I forgot, man. It's just relentless out here. The Piedmont of the Carolinas. We don't have oceans. We don't have mountains. But you know what we do have? Mosquitoes and 95-degree heat in the summer. It's a great place to live. Come here and raise your kids. Yeah, step-in is really comfortable. It does have a 10mm drop feel. That's the one thing where on the first run, and I didn't feel it too much out there, but on the first run, on the step-in and everything, I was thinking, I wonder if this is going to be the shoe's biggest weakness. And I'm telling you right now, I can feel that 10mm drop on step-in. It's not bad. It's just that the heel is a lot more cushioned than the forefoot. So we'll have to watch out for that today. And that was the one biggest difference between this and the Mag Max. I guess the softness of the foam, but also how much lower it is to the ground in the front with the softer foam. More ground feel in this on the first run than the Mag Max. So first run, that was a 5K. I think I hit it at around 6:30 or 6:40 or something. Today, we're going to go 20. I have no pace target. Goal is just to survive. And again, if you look at this, it is hot out here. What time is it? It's already 8:52. Can you even see that? That is late to start a long run in the summer, but I got to spend some time with the family. Everyone slept in this morning because we were traveling yesterday. So this is the price that you pay sometimes. And it will actually be a benefit, though, because I was out in the Poconos and it was hot, but it was not as hot and humid as this. So this will be a good reacclimation run. I was dying yesterday. I was absolutely gassed trying to run marathon pace in the 90-degree humidity. So today we'll take the pressure off. No pace targets. Just go out here, let the body feel the heat. I'm going to bring my big water and everything. So it's just going to be survival. We'll probably be out there for 2 hours 15, 2 hours and a half. I did take the down week last week, so maybe we'll be popping along at 7:10, 7:15. It's also totally possible that the heat will win and I'll be popping along at 8:30, 8:40. It's all good, though. The only thing that matters is keeping that mileage train rolling. Let's do this thing. All right, man. Let's do this thing. Woo! Late start, and it's hot. I'm happy to say these are just as good as I remembered. Just as good as they were in the Poconos. The bounce on these is really nice. And they're just so smooth. One thing I didn't pick up on the first run, it's a weirdly loud shoe. I don't know if it's the rubber or the foam. It reminds me of the Invincible. With the squish and that sound. Dude, it's hot. Oh my. Just survival today. That's all we can ask for. And last week on the long run, we were fighting a bear. Today we're fighting the air. Yeah. Mile 1, 8:02. You gotta think cold thoughts. Think cold thoughts. All right. Man, this heat is a 15 to 20 second per mile penalty. But we're thinking cold thoughts. Like Jeezy, 2006. I'm the snowman, but my shoes are not bricks. Mile 2, 7:50. Yeah, as I remember from the first run, definitely some ground feel. At my relaxed paces here, I can feel that 10mm drop. I don't hate it, but it does have the classic higher heel, lower forefoot setup. It's just the foam is so good that it outweighs the 10mm drop that I don't like. We gon' make it. 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 This humidity is crazy, man. It honestly feels like it's harder to breathe out here. The air is thick. Yeah, I lost my Carolina lungs running in the Pennsylvania hills. Sounds like a Johnny Cash song. I lost my Carolina lungs running in the Pennsylvania hills. My daddy had a gun, and if you try him, you get killed. 'Cause we've been running for the thrill. Mile 3, 7:59. Feels like I'm breathing out of a straw. I'm gonna try to settle in and find some sort of a groove here. This is brutal, bro. This is a grind. This is a grind. And days like today makes me want to retire from running, quit ShoeTube, try to get a job at McKinsey or something. It'd probably be easier than the shenanigans that I signed up for here. Goodness gracious me, oh my. Oh. You hear those cicadas? That's the soundtrack of summer pain. It's the hobby jogger's lullaby. Mile 4, 8:03. You know, last week was man versus nature with the bear and the storms. This is man versus self. My body just does not want to do this run right now. I'm supposed to be rested and recovered from vacation, right? Vacation and the mileage cut. No, it's not how it works sometimes. Mile 5, 8:02. The daily videos and the daily commitments, man, days like today, 20-mile long runs every weekend, reminds me, these non-negotiables are a deal with the devil. It's guaranteed success. If you can run 20 miles every weekend, or commit to writing an article every day, or making a video every day, you will see growth, you will see improvement. You will get closer to success. But there's a price. There is a price. Will grind you down. But guess what? We'll grind harder. You don't grind me down, I grind you down. Let's go. Only 15 more. 15 more. If you want to get it, stay grinding. If you already got it, stay shining. Under pressure, but the pressure make diamonds. All the real ones know the assignment. Ha ha! Yeah, Jadakiss flow. All up in the streets, we was grinding. Ha ha! What the heck? What the heck? Am I hallucinating? Or is that a Max Cushion Gang trailer? What the heck? Mile 7, first gel here. Blackberry banana. I used to do these Huma Plus, or the Huma. I've never tried the Huma Plus. Mile 8, 8:42. This is turning into one of those train wreck runs. Yeah, this is not fun. This is tough, man. Mile 9, 8:45. I'm just talking because hopefully it'll help me get through this. 11 more miles. My heart rate is jacked up. It's hot. Feels like an 8 out of 10 effort for a 2 out of 10 pace. Just trying to make it through this one, man. Mile 10, halfway through. It's pretty much a train wreck right now. I need to stop looking at the watch. It's just getting in my head. Shoes are good though. The shoes are good for sure. Certainly good shoes. Best thing about the run is the shoes. Mile 11. Holding on to a 9-minute pace here. I'm gonna drop the GoPro at home. Battle these last 9 miles alone. Nobody needs to hear me struggle and complain. Oh man, finished, but I feel awful. That was one of the worst runs of my life. I don't really have anything good to say there. That took everything out of me. I was throwing down 10-30 miles at the end. It is brutally hot. Yeah, 20 miles, 8:59 pace. Goodness gracious. Oh, wow. Look at that. I didn't even notice that. This upper cut me up, too. Dude, that was overall savagery out there. That had me questioning everything. I can't remember. I don't even know if I've ever been throwing down 10 miles or 10-minute miles in a long run like that. And that was in the last, oh gosh, my eyes are stinging too. The last 6 or so miles were 10 minutes. Bro, the heat, oh goodness. Oh, my eyes. Oh my gosh. Brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. So it's now 2:19 p.m. Am I standing in the dark here? Here's the thing, my filming spot here is just right in the street. There's no shade. It looks like we are gonna get a respite from the storm clouds up there. So it looks like the sun is gonna block them out for a second, or they're gonna block out the sun, and then it's supposed to rain at 3 p.m. But look at this, man. Can you see that? 90. I checked when I finished my run, it was 90. What's the feels like? Feels like 92. Humidity, only 52% humidity, but it's just oppressively hot out here today. It's a different level. So I think that was the reason I'm saying it's 2:19 p.m. I usually film the wrap up right after. I could barely speak. I could barely move. It took everything for me to just finish that run. And I don't think it's just the heat. We have this expression in our family, Charlie and I, confluence of factors. When something goes wrong, we say, oh, it's a confluence of factors. It means a bunch of things went wrong. So what went wrong there? Well, terrible sleep the last few nights. We've been traveling. I think I was in the car for something like 12 hours straight, or 12 hours over the past few days. It jacked up my back. And then it's just super hot. Also, I came out here and ran a hard 10K in the Primex Strung last night, so legs were tired from that. Just a confluence of factors, and then having to come out and do this long run in the 90-degree heat, and it's oppressively hot. So, yeah, no excuses. That was just a terrible, good old-fashioned terrible run, but it's hard running in the summer, and I faded. Let's throw up the splits here. I can't remember a time where I faded like that. That might be my slowest 4 miles ever since I started running. The last 4 miles there, I was throwing down 10:30s, and it felt like that was as fast as I could go. Now, of course, my legs aren't burning like they'd be on a 5K PR attempt, but man, the effort to just hit those and keep putting one foot in front of the other was all I had. And sometimes that's what it is. And when I was out there, it's these runs that really make me question what I do and the validity of the system. And there were times out there where I was thinking, I probably should quit, right? We have the whole DQ mentality, but I probably should quit. It's probably the best thing for my health and my running if I stop this run. But I've made this deal. I was talking about deal with the devil earlier. I made this deal with myself to do it this way. I'll do it this way, 20-mile long runs every weekend, daily videos, training for the marathons. I'll do it this way until it's no longer effective. This run really made me question things. Is it no longer effective? Is this the right thing to be doing? I don't know, but guess what? This is what I'm doing right now. So just keep the mustard on the dog, bro. That was hard. That was really hard. That was maybe the hardest run of my life. It is up there for sure. Worst run in recent memory. I was struggling. I can't remember a time where I've even put down 10-minute miles. Usually if I'm having a tough run like that, my floor pace is 8:50. I can usually be... Well, I think I had no side mirror and was duct taped. Oh. They're also cheap and that loud. So if I get a little loopy on the rest of this, it's the contact. Yeah, my floor pace is usually an 8:50 or something. The floor just fell out today. So it happens, man. I'm definitely not feeling 100%. And here's the thing, life is not a movie, right? I think sometimes, I was at a down week. I was traveling. When I come back, my legs are going to be so fresh. My long runs are going to be amazing. But that's not the case. Yeah, it was nice to take some time off and to bring the mileage down, and I'm sure next week I'll get an even bigger benefit. But traveling in the car for 2 days and then coming back and ripping in the Primex Strung, that does not set me up for a good run. So I don't know, man. These are the things where sometimes out there I was just getting in my head too, and it's so easy to get in our head when we're having a bad run. And this was beyond bad. This was awful. I put down on my Strava, this was a historically awful run. I really do think, I wish they showed you your 5K WOT PR, your worst of all time PR. I really do think that was the slowest 5K or 4 miles I've ever run by myself. Of course, I've done slower runs, 10-minute runs when I'm jogging with the stroller or with the family or with a friend, but just by myself running, I don't know if I've ever done 4 consecutive 10-minute miles. And yeah, I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I'm just comparing myself to myself. That was a gosh awful run, just miserable. So hopefully we can turn the page and recover from that, and we'll be on. But yeah, the other thing I was thinking about, man, I've had a lot of just tough runs over the last 6 to 8 months, and sub 240 is really where a lot of good runners stop. I'm not gonna name them because there's other people, but I can name three or four other runners, well-known runners who stopped at around 239 or in the 230s, because there's something about just breaking through this range where it's really hard. And for me, sometimes I've just felt like a fish out of water recently trying to train for the sub 230. I'm 6'2", I'm naturally around 170, 175 pounds. I'm 155 right now, and by the way, I weighed myself in after that run. I was 148 because I lost 7 or 8 pounds of water out there. So it's absolutely brutal. But yeah, I'm pushing my body to the absolute limit. The past 6, 7, 8 months have just been a grind to get where I need to go. There's a reason you don't see a lot of 6'2", 170 pound guys running 225 marathons, 227 marathons, because it's the reality. It's the same reason you don't see a lot of 5'4" centers in the NBA. The bodies are designed or optimal for certain things. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep going for it, but there's just been a lot of tough runs recently. Anyway, enough about the run and the training. That was brutal. Shoe. That's why everyone came. I know that. Puma Magnify Nitro 3. For a run like today, it's almost hard to evaluate this because I was just gassed and just trying to put one foot in front of the other. But basically all I want in a daily trainer on a long run where I'm not going for pace is for it to be comfortable and for it not to be weird, and to give me some sort of speed assistance maybe if I'm picking up the pace. And if we throw up the splits again, first 7 or 8 miles, I was cruising at normal pace, right around 8 flat, maybe even slightly faster. And out of the gates, I could tell it wasn't going to be a very fast run, probably feeling the effect of the run I did yesterday in the Primex Strung OG. And again, coming into this with just the setup not great. Rarely do I do a workout on a Saturday, almost never. So that makes sense that I had a bad run today, right? And the reason I did that is because I had the Primex Strung 3, and I knew people wanted to see some insights on that shoe. And I'd been traveling and I didn't get to do it Friday, so I said, let me just do it when I get home. So that set myself up for failure. It didn't feel great in the beginning, but at those normal paces for me, 7:30, 8 flat, felt fantastic. It's bouncy, it's light for the amount of cushion that you get. What else? Stability, really good, wide base, decent softness. Now, I picked up on this in the first run. The forefoot here is not the most stacked. It does feel slightly lower to the ground than you might think, given the 40 millimeter stack in the back, but it's not bad at all, and the 10 millimeter drop is not uncomfortable at all. So the package comes together really nice. The upper is comfortable. Now, I do have 2 issues with it, and it's funny because on the first round review, somebody always has something to say, right? But there was a comment that stuck with me that said, on the next run, he's gonna say everything wrong with the shoe, in a way trying to criticize me, right? But the reality is that is the entire point of putting these shoes through testing, so I could find the things that don't quite work well, and conversely, the things that do work well. So yeah, I might not discover everything about a shoe on, especially that 3.5 mile first run, or even if it's a 25 mile day that I do in a first run review, like the Mizuno Neo Vista 2, there's still different things that I discover as I put additional mileage and just additional use on a shoe. Lacing up a shoe 3 or 4 times, even if we're only getting 15 miles out of those 4 runs, will uncover different things about the shoe versus going on one 15-mile run. So that's the point of trying to do multiple videos and multiple tests on these shoes. I'm not going to discover everything. That's why for the most part I will title a video first run review. The first run review of this I titled "This Might Be the Best Daily Trainer of the Year." Keyword might be more testing required. So the 2 things that I did find today wrong with this, man, the upper cut me up. You can actually see here, that's not dirt. Can you see? I'm trying to get it to focus on that. That's not dirt. That is dried blood. And then same thing right here. Dried blood. Let me show you. Or hold on, blood, trigger warning. Right there and right there. Can you see that? Yeah, right there and right there. Yeah, so that is the main issue with this. It could definitely be solved by having different socks, just wearing longer socks with it. And it's funny because I actually didn't notice it at all when I was out there. I didn't feel like it was painful or there was any rubbing, but then I got back, I was hunched over, and man, that was brutal. Just the feeling going back. I also got salt in my eye from when I was hunched over, taking my shoes off because all the sweat and everything, just brutal all around. But yeah, I didn't notice it out there, but when I got back, I saw that I was cut up. So I don't know if it's gonna happen to everyone. It could also have been because I was so sweaty, but worth mentioning here, make sure to wear a higher sock with it. I won't completely ding it. Other than that, the upper is super good. That's kind of a weird quirk, and they could have fixed it with a thicker tongue. And that was actually the one area, even on the first run review where I unboxed it, and I said, this tongue is very lightweight and thin. I wish they went with a more padded, the word a lot of people use is plush. Look at this, for example. The Hobby Jugger hat, it has this, I don't even know what material you would call this, but it's a soft, squishy material in here. It's padded and it feels plush. It's almost like a foam. I wish they did that with the tongue, more of that pillowy 1080 tongue, or even something like the Nike Vomero tongue. They went with a more performance tongue on this, and because it's so tall, it does touch the foot. Now, the other thing with the upper, I guess both of the issues were about the upper or just minor fit and feel things. Very long. On the first run, I didn't mind it, and there were a lot of times out there that I didn't mind it, but then there was also times when I was getting tired, and it happened 2 or 3 different times. I almost felt like I was tripping over the front of the shoe, and it could have been because I was getting tired and just not picking my feet up enough. I mean, running 10, 30-minute miles for me is just, that means I'm hurting, and boy, was I hurting out there today. Yeah, that it could have just been because of that, but I did feel like it was too long, so I would go half a size down, and a lot of people echoed that also in the first run review in the comment section. So go half a size down. It's runnable, it's not bad, but I think if you're going to be using this a lot and for long runs, you might appreciate having a snugger fit. It's hard. Even as I'm talking, I'm backtracking. I hate issuing size down orders because it's just risky. Like, I would much rather have a shoe, especially a training shoe, I would much rather have it fit big than too tight. Especially with a shoe like this where we're going to be doing a 20-mile long run. And the benefit of having the additional room in here was very comfortable, man. This, like I said, it's hard to review a shoe like this where I'm just surviving. It's not even running for me, and it was just, I wasn't thinking about the shoe at all in the last 9 miles, but that was also a very good thing. I was purely focused on the survival, and this has that disappear on foot quality. Yes, the foam is fun and bouncy. Yes, it looks great. You get a lot of pep. It has the nitro foam, but it also just gets out of the way and lets you run. So it's not a super max stack shoe. If you want the crazy bounce from Puma, that's going to be the Mag Max. If you want the crazy speed, that's the Fast R3 or the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. But this is a really nice daily trainer. It very much feels like a classic everyday running shoe where I can do a 20-mile long run. I can do what I did on the first run review, which is just nice and hard 5K. And this is the slowest I'll ever run. This is probably the worst run. Hopefully this is the worst run I'll have for a long time. And this did marvelously because it just let me run. It let me suffer in silence. It wasn't yelling at me. It wasn't trying to be too bouncy. And there was actually a great question on the Primex Strong video about why do people like bounce in a shoe? And bounce in a shoe usually translates to energy return or speed assistance or making it easier to run. That's why it's a good thing. If you think about the reverse of a bouncy shoe, that's something that doesn't give you anything back. It's like running in a pair of Timbs or Air Force Ones. It's not going to be bouncy. Yes, it's going to be stable. Maybe it will be protective if it's some decent sort of foam or rubber like an Air Force One, but it's not going to give you any pep. Right? So bouncy is good because it makes it easier to run. It can be bad if it's forcing you to run a certain way or making your stride do something it does not typically do. This isn't going to do that. This just let me go out there and run naturally or survive naturally. So, man, when I was out there, I was not thinking about the shoe at all other than the first 4 to 8 miles when I was actually running. But that's a good thing. It passed the 20-mile long run test. I didn't feel like it was bottoming out or uncomfortable at all toward the end. I mean, we were out there for 3 hours, so I can stand by what I said in the first run. I think I said this a half a mile in on the first run. Man, this is a shoe I could run a marathon in. And I still feel that today. Didn't feel too soft, didn't feel like it was gonna bottom out, and it was just there to let me do my thing and have the worst run of my life. So A+ on the shoe, that was an F-. That wasn't even an F-. That was, if you went into a class and gave the performance I did today on a test, I think you would be kicked out of the entire university. They might even let all the other universities, colleges and community colleges in the surrounding area know about how terrible a student you are so they don't let you in. You know how on applications they usually ask for a reference? They would tell you no one here is going to give you a reference, you're kicked out of the school, and we're going to make sure everybody else out there knows to never admit you in because you're so terrible of a student. So that was the long run performance today. It's okay. Maybe we'll pick a different career path or something that doesn't require an advanced degree, and we'll figure it out from there because this ain't it, fam. All right, that's all I have for you today. Yeah, that was the ultimate DQ didn't quit run. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I should quit, right? What's the just out here completely suffering running 10-minute miles? I felt like I was putting my health at risk being out there, but I'm recovered now. I have a smile on my face. I can give you 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I said 2 thumbs up on the first run for the shoe. We still have 2 thumbs up for the shoe. So, and I know that's what people care about, right? So, good job, Puma Magnify Nitro 3. Complete daily training banger. Most certainly a top 5 daily trainer, maybe even a top 3 daily trainer. I'm excited to get some more testing on this. Let me know what comparisons you want to see, because that should be the next review, I think, or next video I do with this. Doing some comparisons. Is it a Novablast comparison, maybe Vomero comparison? Let me know what you want to see this compared to. Those are 2 other top 5 daily trainers. All right, I appreciate you all. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. The last thing I was gonna say, I forgot to say it up there, but I was thinking about it pretty much the entire time. And bro, the newspaper just got, it's smoked too. It's brown from the sun. I can also see on my lawn there's just a visible line where all the grass is brown and dying versus the part that's in the shade is still lush and green. So, man, the heat in the summer here is just unforgiving. But what I was going to say is today was a beautiful illustration of the strengths and the weaknesses of having a system that we commit to. Right? I know I'm going to do the 20 on Sunday, no matter what, every weekend. I'm not going to do this forever, but at this phase of life, this is what I've committed to. I know I'm going to do the daily videos, and sometimes it takes everything out of me. I was driving in the car back. We got here at 5 p.m. yesterday, or 4 p.m. I was thinking in the car, man, I'm going to have to do a video today and I'm have to do my long run tomorrow, and it's going to be brutal. And guess what? It was brutal, but there's been so many weekends where, because I have this system, I haven't skipped the long run, and it ensures I make progress. It keeps me accountable, and we keep it going. So, man, the greatest strengths are always the greatest weaknesses. The system is a double-edged sword, is what works for me. There's no perfect way to train, and anytime I have a bad run, the peanut gallery comes out and says, you should do this, you should do that. There's a lot of things I could do. There are infinite ways to train. There's different ways to periodize the training and to set up the system. I know what works for me. I also know what works for a lot of people, which is holding yourself accountable. And the best training system is the one that you can actually execute on. So keep that in mind. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people telling me how to train after this one. It's funny, they don't come out after I put down 2 miles of 5:20 threshold pace or rip a good 5K. It's only after the bad workouts. But it's also, we got to fight off the elves inside our own brain, sowing self-doubt. It's not all about the other people. So just keep it moving, man. Bounce back. What did Big Sean say? Last I took an L, but today I bounce back.
That was fun.
Oh gosh, it's so slippery.
Yeah. The grenade will light.
Oh god. Post vacation haul. It hit 2 stores.
Well, because I did Aldi as my primary, but I needed to fill in.
To fill in the gaps, yeah, because Aldi, you said Aldi and Trader Joe's
But I
don't
only-
have.
Yeah, but I only spent $50 at Publix. And
Really?
I
Puppies.
Yeah,
Because it was Beyond. You stocked up on Beyond.
but it was half off.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free for all Beyond products. So I got the big, I think I got brand.
Sausages.
I got the big box of
Burgers. Oh, that's
which
perfect for
they've
me.
been sold out of for
Yeah.
a long time.
That's perfect for my lunch.
Yeah.
Thank you. Look at that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And I got lots of snacks for Nana and Papa who are coming.
Perfect. Yeah. For other people. All right, boom. First dinner back. What a way to close it out after that long run. We have gnocchi with Italian Beyond vegan sausage, Brussels sprouts. Did you put the Thistle Hill honey? Banger. Thistle Hill honey from the hives of Virginia. This is just everything you could ask for. So, look at that. Bada boom, bada bang. Supple Kitchen putting in work. See you tomorrow.